You know what this means. Let's get going. Up first, it's called Bnc. It feels kind of like a Bnc plug and a couple of jacks or other plugs. So what is it? Oh yes, it's like binding posts with Bnc on it. So with these you could plug these into whatever it is, a piece of test equipment like an oscilloscope, a function generator, whatnot. You would attach it and then you can stick banana plugs in here and here, and you can attach bare wires. So it's a nice universal way to get at the scope. And if you keep getting these stackable binding posts, you can keep teeing off and having a whole bunch of connectivity options. Bnc male plug to 2 banana jack binding post, coax adapter, connector, IG. From IUWG333, I don't think I've ever bought anything from this seller before. $1.74 US, inner core gold-plated brass, and the shell nickel-plated brass. And a whole bunch of specs that who knows if they are actually meeting that spec. Bnc to binding posts / banana jacks. That is called adapter connector. So what are we adapting or connecting to? Oh, it's the same thing, but it's the other side of it. The banana plugs and a Bnc jack. Well, that's interesting. I can't remember what I had in mind here, but yep, it all goes together. Not that that's how I would use it. I think the idea with this, maybe these are spaced appropriately for a multimeter. If for some reason I needed a Bnc on it, I don't know. And the Bnc female jack to dual stacking banana male plugs with, of course, the sockets as well, so you can stack connectors and cables. From Surprise 7, $169 US. Again, good price, good to have around. They don't really give too much detail on the type of material, just plastic and metal, but that's fine. Ooh, color lasers. I bought some of those back last year, probably in my first mailbag. I better scroll away from this before I start buying stuff. Universal sharp multimeter leads. I do have a set of multimeter probes that broke. And so maybe this is one of several sets I was auditioning. Oh, it also has a pen? Ooh, Sheffield. And something I can't read. Oh, let's try the pen. I'm probably more excited about this pen right now. I want to see how good it is. The grip is kind of somewhat feeling rubberized almost. What do we have here? Looks like a standard ballpoint pen as opposed to one of those liquid ink types. So actually that's pretty smooth. I like this. This is going to go on the workbench. I definitely want to look this up and see who sent me this. Maybe I'll order more probes to get the pen if the price is right. So the probes. Oh yes, these are sharp tips. Very pointy. So the feel of the cable material and the flexibility, it's not too bad actually, compared to what I probably paid for it. I would have expected a lot worse. So there's little end caps on here. Now if we plug this in, they are a bit loose on here, but let's just see. Go into continuity mode. The thing I like about the fluke meters, at least this one, it's got an instant continuity response beep. I don't like those meters where you have to hold it down and then it'll kick in later, because when you're quickly going along, you don't know if you've missed a short. So let's just see. Well, these may feel a bit looser than I expected, but the connectivity is good. Now, of course, this material here, the actual probe, it feels fine, but you do get the feeling that these are low cost. It doesn't feel totally cheap, if that makes any sense. Now, these other probes here, they're not fine tips. These are from the 90s on my other fluke meter that I bought. These still work, but nowadays the electronics have gotten a lot smaller, and these are better for bigger, high power things. So yeah, I like these, and I like the pen they came with. Maybe I'm going to buy more stuff from here. I'm going to keep these with the meter because I like them and I want to use them. And I'll be able to report back if they suddenly started to fail. The size of them, it's good. It fits right into this. Good for storage. 1000 volt 20 amp multimeter test leads with sharp probes from Philip Yee, $275 US. And yeah, these looked exactly like what I wanted, and I think I'm gonna like these. I'm not too concerned if they are certified. I see these certification markings and CAT labelings, but I don't necessarily think I'll be going up to 1000 volts or 20 amps. So yeah, qualifications CE and CAT 2, who knows? The contents described on here are SKU 8835 or something like that. So, this is intriguing. It's been a while since I've opened a mystery pack from China. Not. What's this? Is it a fortune cookie? Whoa, dear friend, thanks for your kindly order. It's our honor and pleasure doing business with you, etc., etc. Have a wonderful day, warmest regards. Well, I still don't even know what I was sent, but I'm going to certainly enjoy it a lot more now. Oh, it's more probes of some kind. I remember this. And I guess I got two. So these probes have rather short banana plugs on them. I wasn't expecting it to be that small. But if I can get this undone. These tips are kind of in between sharp and large. They're like not that heavy duty, but they're not the finest point. And now this is what I was thinking about with the other probes, where you would feel that it's only a couple of dollars of a product. But that's okay. Let me go find my prop for why I bought this. If you remember, once upon a time, I was going through some old stuff and I found this old Radioshack folding meter. Well, it uses banana plugs. So, I think I remember what's going on with this. Notice all this stuff I'm opening around the same time period. Standard multimeter spacing, right? Common and plus volts. Relatively tiny banana plugs, but good enough for this. And there you have it. Now it makes sense. So now if I need to plug into somewhere else on here, I guess maybe I'm in trouble. Like if I want to go to a high DC or AC, but I won't be using a meter like this for anything that advanced. I just wanted a way to get to use this meter again because I had no probes that would plug in with banana plugs. And I'm kind of needing to stock up on things like banana plugs, so that is how I'm going to get started using this meter again. These other banana plug probes with the short tips, those are only 99 cents US from Watermelon Purple. Now it's a really humid day today. I'm starting to get a little bit dehydrated and hungry. Maybe I'm going to take a water break soon. These also claim to be 1000 volt rated. I don't know if it has any certification markings, but for my purpose, I don't need that. This is described as elec. So, what is it? I can't wait. I can't wait. What is it? It looks like transistors. 100 pieces of A4292. Let's look it up. 100 MPSA 42. These are half an amp, 300 volt NPN transistors. So 100 for $299 from 185115. There's really no product information other than quantity here. The description says it all. So the reason I bought these high voltage transistors, Nixie tubes. If I want to discretely drive each element in a Nixie tube, if I want to take a logic input, this should do it. All right, this is a special day for notes in shipments. This is from Russia, and this one comes with a note taped onto it. Let's check this out. I wonder what the note's all about, but I also wonder what's inside, and a bunch of chips. I do not remember this at all. This must be from around the time I ordered Nixie tube parts, so I don't know if this is related to that. What is it? K155 with some markings on it that look very much like some sort of driver chips. Well, the note that was attached to these was just an invoice and none of it was in English, so I couldn't read it anyway. And these K155ID1 are also Nixie tube drivers, all in an IC. So this is a 74141 clone or something, I guess. So this is an auction for just one lot equals a quantity 1 of the IC for 99 cents. The shipping is $6 no matter how many you buy. So to make it worthwhile, I ordered a whole bunch so that with the flat rate shipping and 99 cents per chip, it would work out to being a good deal. From Xmas.com, shipping from Russia. So the 74141, it's a BCD to decimal decoder designed to drive Nixie tubes. You've got 4 inputs, and if you count up in binary, there will be a discrete output turned on because the Nixie tube has a single pin for each digit. So if everything is low, it's all zeros, you want to turn on the pin that goes to the 0 on the Nixie tube, etc., all the way up. And you only have 0 through 9, so if you put in anything else, it'll just start counting over on this certain chip, but we're looking at the 74141. So in this case, if you don't have a valid 0 through 9, nothing happens. But it's meant to directly drive the Nixie tube. Let's move on to some bigger packages. Electronic parts and wire connectors. This feels pretty loaded up with stuff. One of those packages I'm not sure where I can safely cut. Okay, this is a lot of stuff. Oh, I see breadboards. I see lots of breadboards and a module. More breadboards. That's it. What's this standalone module? One day I'm going to have to put these modules to use. I see a bunch of electrolytics, and I see bent 3-pin header. Oh, is this one of those motion sensors? Sometimes it's hard to focus on these things, and sometimes I have no idea which is a date code or a part number, so let's just look this up. Looks like most likely some voltage regulator kind of thing, and this sensor, which we don't need to magnify. Oh, what's this? Adjustment trimmer pots? Okay, well, let's look this up and see how to use it. And we have our infrared motion sensor module, HC SR501, 99 cents US from Alice 110, 1983, needs no introduction. Operating voltage 4.5 to 20 volts. low standby current, less than 50 microamps. And the output logic is 3.3 to ground. I've never used one of these, so I'm not sure what all the specs mean, but one day I'll get around to finding a project to use this with. They've got a lot of info here compared to usual. So the adjustable potentiometer I saw, I think there were two. You adjust the distance of the sensing range between 3 and 7 meters, and delay adjustment 5 seconds to 300 seconds. At least now I have a better idea of what's happening on this board. I just need to get around to using it. And now, breadboards. I need to get a breadboard tester. Today it's going to be green. All right. Now I'm going to assume out of all of these, it's going to be all the same product. So if one works, they all work. Let's just try to get through this. I can't get this open. All right. There you go. Open. And the other bag. Open. Okay, a random white board. LED. It goes right in, stays in. Good. Try some more spots. Oh yeah. Black one. This is a good batch. All right, the green one. Perfect. It goes right on in, makes good contact, I assume, because it's staying, and I can feel the springiness, so it's got support tension on there. How about these? Green and white. These are so small, you got to be careful. I was about to throw the bag out and one of these was stuck in it. All right, no more breadboards here. So we have two colors, white and whiter. Let's check the white one. No problems. No problems. How about the whiter one? So far, so good. I'm having more trouble just aligning it, but it's fine. All right. Green one. I can't see it. It's too dark. Hold on. Line it up. Yep. All good. Those other breadboards I got ever so long ago that I just could not insert a part, I never could, no matter how much I tried. These are just, most of them are okay. Some of them need to be worked in just a little. That I can live with. And these have double-sided sticky tape on them, so you can throw this on the back of a robot car or something, or make a base plate and stick these permanently on. Now that I'm going to be doing a bunch of things like op-amp circuits and maybe 555 circuits, that's what I want to do with stuff like this. I might not need like this much real estate taking up all this room on the bench. I throw a 555 up here and then maybe a 4017 or something, and all of this is just inefficiently used. I'd rather build little individual circuits. From Alice 110-1983 for $2.78, 7 of those mini 55-point breadboards. Lots of colors. They are recyclable, and there's really not much else to say. Also, that same day I ordered from Alice 10 pieces of these 170 tie point breadboards for $4.65. This has a little info here. It can take 20 to 29 gauge wire, and it's 45 by 34 by 8.5 millimeters, white color. $4.65 is a good price for 10 of these. You can build a little individual circuit on these and not tie up the real estate on your larger breadboards, and you can just lay these aside. You don't have to destroy the circuit if you think you might need it again soon. So it's good to have variety. Also from Alice, for $2.21, I got 10 of the mini 25-point breadboards. It looks like there's really not much you could do with something that size, but if you just need a couple of connection points, then, you know, even just a simple filter with resistors, capacitors, or something. If you're going to do some of those audio experiments with a synthesizer, you throw a little filter on here and there it is. You can easily bring it in and out of circuit, make a whole bunch of modular configurations, and they're just neat. And these can also be recycled. From Alice, 5 pieces of these green 170 tie points, $2.47. Gotta have multiple colors. This one said wire connectors. I wonder if this is those butt splice crimp terminals with the insulation on it. I ordered these a while ago. If this is it, it looks like it. Hey, this case looks exactly like the case the LEDs I recently opened came in. But this one's got its own entire plastic wrapping. There's no invisible Scotch tape, which I still want to track down and see if I can buy that. I liked that tape. It was like magician's trick tape. So, various sizes and gauges of ring terminals or just straight plugs. Of course, the idea is these will mate together and you would use the proper tool and crimp a wire on here and have removable contacts. So some of them are these forked ones. So depending what you need to do, mostly I got these like this kind, the fork, as well as the ring terminal to have around, because sometimes you might have something with a bolt on a chassis and sometimes you can't take the bolt fully out for some reason, but you want to loosen it a bit and slip something in there, so that's what this one's for. Other times you want to make sure the bolt will have this on it, so you put the bolt fully through here and there's no way it'll slip out. So good to have around. From Fufoliu. Haha, is that a song or something? Fufoliu. All right, I tried to say this several times. I'm settling on from Fufoliu, from Fuffle, I don't know, Fufoliu or something. 300 of these insulated wire terminal crimp connectors. Whatever, I can't talk. After all of that, I need a break. 300 pieces in a nice plastic case, $7.59. Whenever I see relatively high prices like this, when I'm looking back at eBay purchases, I always just have to trust that I did my due diligence and that was a good price, so I went with it. So they are generally used in marine and automobile applications, which is true. I've seen speakers connected up with things like this. And I bought a tool recently, I haven't tried it out yet, to properly crimp these sorts of things. So I'll be trying that out at some point, but for now I just wanted these around because a couple of times I could have made good use of this sort of connector, but didn't have any. And they are kind of expensive when I look around in stores. So I thought I'll just splurge this purchase and have them next time I need them. They're easy to store when they come in a case like this. And eventually, if I use them up, or if I decide to just dump these into some other part tray, I'll use this box for other stuff like LEDs. I feel like opening more stuff. Expansion board module, cable, and electrical parts. All very exciting sounding stuff. Let's start with the cable. I've ordered things like, this feels like a Bnc cable. I'm running out of room here, which is, in this case, exciting because it means I got so much new stuff here. Well, I've probably had this stuff sitting here for months, and I could have been putting it to use. But that's the point. Now I'm all inspired, and I'm going to do all kinds of things. I'm glad I relocated this workspace from the second floor of the house down to the basement, because summer is coming, and it's going to be very hot and stuffy upstairs, but I can just come down here. It'll encourage me even more to do more videos. So, is this the Bnc cable? It is. Oh, and I got two of them. So, these aren't really labeled. I'll have to look it up. But if I'm not mistaken, these will be 50 ohm. I can't remember what RG part number that is, but it's 50 ohm BNC to BNC. So you can plug this into test equipment within a short distance. Sometimes having a really short, like what is this, probably 1.5 feet, having a short cable to go from one test equipment unit to the next one down on the shelf is way better than having a 3-foot cable you have to coil up. So I bought a couple of these just to go equipment to equipment. And now I will show you what equipment it is. I thought it was about time I upgrade from my old 2 MHz BK Precision 3020 sweep function generator. At least I'm pretty sure that's the model. I just looked this up on eBay and this looks like what I've got. So it's got the basic sine, square, and triangle waves, and a multiplier select switch on the power switch, and then the adjustable knob to change the frequency up to 2 MHz. It can generate sweep patterns and some modulation, but it's really just outdated, and more importantly, these days I probably want more than 2 MHz on tap. I bought this, my version of this, on eBay probably in 2001. And at the time, I really probably only cared about audio frequencies and testing op-amp filters. But now, of course, I can do a lot more specialized things if I have better equipment. So I upgraded to the Rigol DG1022Z series. And I got the lowest model in that. I got the 1022, which can do 25 megahertz, and it's got 2 channels. So for $359 US, after doing a little bit of research on similar different products, I chose this one. So it's got the basic functions, sine, square, ramp, pulse, noise, and 160 built-in arbitrary waveforms. Sine, square can go up to 25 megahertz. The ramp can go up to 500 kilohertz. The pulse can go up to 15 megahertz, and harmonic, I'm not too sure what that is, 10 megahertz. Now, I'm not doing a review of this or a big in-depth demo. I just wanted to mention that I bought this, and it's got all these functions and 25 megahertz and 2 channels, just like when I bought the 2 megahertz unit way back. For now, this, for the price, will do more than I even know how to make use of. So I thought it was a good investment, and I just want to maybe try it out a little bit, power it up. So I've been buying certain banana plugs and test leads and the Bnc cables so I can hook things up better and get myself better equipped. And to give an idea of the size of the function generator, this is the typical bench modern oscilloscope size, and I have it just sitting on top, so it's a tiny unit. So I want to check the startup time until we are able to use the unit, and I might as well check the startup time on this DS1102CD Rigol oscilloscope while I'm at it. So I started the timer and it kept falling over. Now that it's running, I'm just going to start these at an arbitrary time and then just manually keep track. So at 20 seconds, I'll start. 30 seconds into the count. So it looks like exactly 10 seconds it took for both units to be ready to use. One thing I can say about this unit, I like the feel of the buttons. They have a good tactile response, including even the power button, which is a rocker switch. It's kind of tiny, but it's got a good solid feel. It doesn't feel cheap. And now I just want to go through a few of the more basic common functions of the signal generator and just double check. It's supposed to do 25 megahertz and up to 20 volts peak to peak, but not necessarily across the full 25 megahertz band. So I just want to check out a few things and see how it goes. So I have fast access buttons to go sine wave, square wave, ramp, which is triangular, pulse, noise, and then I can get into the arbitrary functions. So if I press arbitrary and then select waveform, built in, I can scroll through all of the preset waveforms. While using the dial to scroll through the options, it would have been nice if this was a push button as well, so I could select. And for a while I was staring at this looking for how do I press enter or whatnot, and there's a soft button here called select. Now I have two 1 kilohertz square waves, 5 volts peak to peak, and so one of the reasons I wanted a dual channel function generator, that is 2-in-1 unit, is so you could have some control over synchronizing the two channels in certain ways. So if I want these to match each other in timing, I will go down here to align phase, press that, and now they are aligned. Electronic parts? Well, what parts? I wonder. This could be anything. Hey, there's a bunch of... Ooh, banana plugs. This is a theme after all. All this banana plug kind of stuff. Where's the other stuff? Those binding post things. BNCs and banana plugs. Is that what I should label this video? Maybe. So this... Oh! These hooky things. Like logic analyzer hooks. So where's the other end to this? It's already a mess. Oh, I guess I got a bunch of things that I can plug banana plugs in and do various things like alligator clips or these little hooky clips that everyone's familiar with. Push down and out comes a little hook. So it looks like I got 2 or 3 pairs of both of those kinds. These alligator banana plug probes, 99 cents from Good Module. So you get 1 pair, red and black, banana plugs, alligator clips. So with those other things I've got, like BNC to banana posts, if you need to just quickly tap into that, you can just stick these in and then you've got some alligator clips that you can clamp onto. I basically want to get to a point with setting up a lab area where not only do I have a whole bunch of universal parts on hand to do things with, but when I need a certain connector or cable or need to interface something to something else, I want to just know that I've got enough parts like this where I can make something work for now. And on that note, also from Good Module, for $1.59, a set of red and black banana plugs with those hooky things on it, similar to logic analyzer hook probes. 3.3 foot long cable, pretty good to have around. Same with the alligator clips. Sometimes you just need to hook on directly to a lead sticking out of a breadboard or something, and the alligator clip is too bulky, so you use something like this and hook onto it. Well, what else can I add to this mess? Electrical parts, of course. Why not, right? It's an electrical mess. All right, what kind of electrical parts are these? Oh, tube sockets. Like vacuum tube sockets, I think, as opposed to Nixie tubes. Let me open this. Are these like porcelain or ceramic? I can't remember. I vaguely recall when I was looking for these and I saw all different kinds of available stuff. Some were plastic, some were porcelain, some were ceramic. Well, I like how these are wrapped in protective kind of waxy paper so you don't damage them and scratch them up unnecessarily. So yeah, vacuum tube socket. You plug the tube in here, of course, and you have solder terminals. It also comes with these retainer clips so you can chassis mount them. I don't know exactly how right now. Something like this anyway. So that gets mounted. And if this is soldered into a PCB and it is mounted, then it all stays secure. So I wanted these because it looks better, you know. If I do a project with vacuum tubes, I want the tubes visible and exposed, and I don't want a cheap black plastic thing with the terminals on the plastic ones I think also looked cheap. This looks more like something I would have pulled out of some old equipment. I just went to the second floor of the house to get a 12AX7 tube as a prop, and it is definitely humid up there. It feels air conditioned down here, but up there it felt like I was breathing water. So yeah, I'm totally glad that I moved all this stuff down here. So, a simple 12AX7 vacuum tube, a perfect fit. Now I can do even more high voltage experiments and try not to blow myself up. All right. Well, all of these little parts should probably go in a tray so they don't get lost. And the tube should go back in its box so I don't forget what it is. 10 pieces of 12AX7 9-pin vacuum tube ceramic socket. I knew it was either ceramic or porcelain. So if you get 10 for $9.90, that's pretty good. It's about $1 each from Hong Kong's superseller. These were made in the UK and they're sold from Hong Kong. So auctions like this, I always try to double check the description like this, the body of text. It says you get 10 and that they are 9 pins and what they are used for. Make sure it matches the overall description. 10 pieces, 12AX7, 9-pin tube sockets, ceramic. Sometimes it's misleading. You'll see something up here that is ambiguous and you're hoping it means you get 10, but when you read down below, it's just like maybe they're actually only selling quantity 1 for whatever way the wording is done. So if I feel it's ambiguous, I don't buy it, but this looked pretty clear and it looks like I got what I wanted. And I do like the quality of them. All right, let's go for the bonus round. It's been a while since I opened something called Business and Industrial. There it is. Usually Business and Industrial is a flat flex cable, but I don't know about this one, so I'm intrigued. And this has been sitting here for a while in the bonus bin, so this could be anything I would have forgotten long ago. Hookup wire. Lovely pink and wonderful green and purple. I think I chose these colors just because they're a little bit unique looking and, you know, everyone's got the standard wire colors. Why not mix it up? But now, how do I get this stuff off of it? Wow, it's bundled. Oh, it's bundled in bundles. Okay. It looks like there's a Ziploc bag bundled in the bundle. This is certainly convoluted. It's wrapping to itself. Wow, how many bundles are there? What? Oh, did I not say Business and Industrial is flat flex cable related? Check it out. Flat flex cable connectors. Well, you know, these flat flex connectors need no introduction. They also need no description. I guess I could try to count the pins, but oh well, whatever. They're just going to end up in the bin of cables, breakout boards, and connectors, so to be put to use. And you know what? I've been trying to unbundle or debundle this. I'm just going to leave this as is. Maybe it's good to keep it all together. So let's just put this aside, and one day there will be a project for it. It kind of looks like dulled pastel Easter colors. I wonder, did I order this around March or April? So these are those pastel, colorful looking wires I bought. There's all kinds of colors, so I think pink was one I chose. I don't remember the gauge I chose. Let's just pick anything and go with 1 meter. I'm not sure what I bought. So if you get like 3 feet, it's $1.10, and it's from Superior by 2014. So with all of these colors, I chose a few that I liked, and now I have them around. They offer 16 to 30 gauge, all these colors. They're just typical hookup wire kind of specs, so good to have around. And from Superior by 2014, this was, after all, a business and industrial envelope, so of course I got flat flex connectors. I don't know which one I got, whether it's 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter pitch or top or bottom connection, etc., but it's something we've gone through before, so it's just stuff rolling in. I've got all kinds of sizes of cables and connectors coming, so sometimes I wrote down on a scrap of paper why I'm buying something, and sometimes I just had an idea on the spot. Like when I was buying the wire, I threw in another connector. I might have thought of an idea and now I forget. Eventually, when I think of what I wanted this for, I'll have it on hand. Well, there was so much stuff here it fell off the work mat, so a good haul.